I think I'm only 21, but my body tells me I'm not.
At 79 years old, Carolyn Snyder never stops moving and has been this way her entire life.
When I was in high school, I was in the Y-teens. I was a lifeguard. I did a lot of things.
And she always makes time to give back.
Try to stay busy, because as long as you're busy and helping other people, you're going to be happy.
Snyder was born on September 9th, 1937 in West Virginia.
I come from a very large family. I was just outside of the capital of Charleston, West Virginia, so I was very fortunate. My father worked for Union Carbide, which was the chemical capital of the world at that time in South Charleston, where I grew up and went to school.
Her mother, who she was very close to, was a homemaker. And after high school, a new opportunity brought the family to the South Bay.
I've always lived in Torrance. I moved here in 1956 when my father was transferred here. And my folks bought one of the first homes that was being built up in the Hollywood Riviera.
At that time, Snyder was engaged to be married to James F. Campbell Jr. and planned on moving back to Virginia, but she didn't have to.
But my husband-to-be said, "You'll never leave your father and your mother." So he moved out here also and went to work at research at the time was Garrett Corporation. And we ended up staying. So I was out here permanently, and so this has been my home since 1956.
In 1957, the couple married in Palos Verdes at Wayfarers Chapel, also known as the Glass Church.
And of course, as soon as we were out here, he wanted to start racing motorcycles. That was his love. So he became a motorcycle racer. We did that for quite a few years, and whatever came along, we tried.
Some of her many adventures are from working at Vels Ford and Parnelli Jones Racing Tires.
Through that, I was able to work with a lot of the big-time race car drivers. I ended up working with Parnelli Jones, and he actually drove and rode for Vels Ford, and then he went for the Agajanian. So I used to do all the paperwork for all the race cars. So I got to see and meet a lot of the different drivers at that time.
The couple didn't wait to have children, and it was when she was expecting her second that tragedy struck.
And then in 1960, I was pregnant with my second child, and my husband was killed at Ascot Speedway in Gardena. So I was a widow at 22. So I had a 2-year-old and was pregnant with, 6 months pregnant with a baby.
Snyder wasn't alone for long because she had the support of a great family friend at a time she needed it the most, giving birth to her baby boy.
Well, when he was born, my second husband and my brother-in-law, my second husband-to-be, I should say, and my brother-in-law were with me at the time because I'd just lost my husband, 3 months before. So they allowed them in the room to talk to me, and this was before husbands and people were allowed in the delivery room. So it was nice to be able to share that experience with someone that you knew. So anyway, I was very fortunate. So then when I got married a year later to my second husband, the children he felt were his because he'd grown up with my first husband. They had been friends since kindergarten. So the children were always just his children. There was never any such thing as stepchildren in our family.
They married in 1962 in Redondo Beach.
And he was a very giving, wonderful person to, take on a family of 2. And then of course we immediately had 2 more. So we ended up with 4 children.
And he also had a love for motorcycles.
He was a wonderful father and couldn't ask for a better friend and family member. He supported me in everything that I did, and I supported him in what he wanted to do. And so we had many goals that we fulfilled. So we just kept busy all the time, whether it was fishing on the Kern River with our children, or riding motorcycles in the desert, or racing motorcycles, or going to NASCAR races, or stock car races, or Indy races.
They have visited almost every state in the U.S. in their motorhome.
All of my children played sports. I was Little League president, I was PTA president, I ran the carnival for the school. I became the first soccer coach for a girls' team in the South Bay when girls' teams started playing soccer. I used to do all the banquets, and my husband would scrub all the potatoes for the banquets itself. But just being involved with your community has always been something that my husband and I both felt was very important, and it was important to do things with your family.
There isn't a title Snyder hasn't held. She was a school photographer, she has done some catering, she was a Sunday school teacher, and she sold all of the cheerleaders' uniforms. She did it all, and even she says she has lived a few lifetimes.
As long as you're active and you keep moving, you should stay young.
In 1973, Snyder got her real estate license, and for 33 years, she sold homes and became a sales trainer. During that time, she was recognized as Realtor of the Year. It was also then she got involved with her new life passion. When we come back, we will see how this lifelong volunteer finds a new passion at Torrance Memorial Medical Center and turns it into a family tradition.
My favorite thing about music is it's reliable, it's always there.
There's nothing to worry about when you do music. It takes my mind off of all of the worries that I have in life. You're just having fun.
When I'm playing it, I'm like, wow, this is me. I sometimes just like shock myself.
It's wonderful that I'm part of something that brings me great joy.
And it just helps me cheer up other people.
And the sound just increases around you and you just become immersed in it. You become one with it.
When you play music, you are playing life.
Carolyn Snyder has dedicated her life to giving back, and now she spends her time volunteering at what she calls the happiest place on earth.
My escrow officer at the time when I had the Better Homes and Gardens office, she said, they are starting this new thing over at Torrance Memorial Hospital, and it's called the Festival of Trees. And Ron, my husband, is getting his pilot's license this year. So why don't we do a tree in honor of his plane and him getting his pilot's license, so we'll do an airplane theme. From that, somebody said, oh, there's a tree needs some work over here. Would you mind going and helping fix that tree? And then it just kind of grew from that. So I was hooked, and I've been back every year since. One time we had 4 generations working on the festival. My mother, myself, my daughter, Tori, and my granddaughter, Lindsay. And those were actual 4 generations, and not too many people can say that 4 generations work on the same charity.
Since 1984, Snyder has spent every year fundraising for the hospital and making the holiday festival even better.
As the chairperson, my goal was to see us make at least $50,000. And now we make nearly $1 million in the same time.
Honored again, Snyder was awarded the Torrance Citizen of the Year in 1996 for all of her dedication to the community.
Every penny that's raised goes to support the hospital. We helped build the brand new hospital, which we're so proud of. And now we're renovating the, what we call the North Tower, Central Tower, is being renovated for the children's wing. And it will be our new mother's unit.
The Holiday Festival is the largest fundraiser for the hospital. Snyder has not only been a key volunteer in the annual event, she has served as the co-chair of the entire festival for the past few years.
I have a wonderful team that works behind me at the festival, my design team. And I've had an issue with the heart issue. So far it hasn't bothered me at all, and I'm very healthy. But they just don't let me do anything. So if I want to do something, they're right behind me and say, no, you can't pick that up, or no, you can't do that. And I say, look, I was doing this before you were born, and I'm going to be doing it when you're still my age.
Snyder unfortunately lost her second husband in 2008 to lung disease.
And he was in the hospital for 3.5 months in intensive care. Wonderful doctors and nurses. I became part of their family. They became part of my family. And I ended up being kind of a volunteer there at their hospital while I was there. Like I said, if anything's going on, I'm going to be involved in it. I just can't sit and twiddle my thumbs and read a book.
Even the loss of her life partner didn't stop her from living life. She has 4 children, 8 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. And she says she knows she still has some really good years left.
If it's my time, it's my time. I've lived a full life. And I intend to continue on. My mother was 98 when she passed away, and she was still doing her own yard work. And I hope to be like her. And all my aunts and all my aunts have lived to be up. One of them lived to be 100. And both of my grandmothers were in their 90s when they passed away. So hopefully I still have some life left in me. And now you're hearing people having their 100th birthday, and that would be a goal to set, I guess, to reach 100.
She already made plans to buy another motorhome and will visit the Panama Canal for her 80th birthday. And of course, the charity work never stops.
I'm involved with the Torrance Rose Float Association, the Torrance Education Foundation, which goes to better, help get better things for the schools here in the South Bay. Anytime somebody asks me to do something. American Cancer Society. I used to work on the Heart Foundation, and we used to do fundraisers for that, and I used to get dressed up in all these crazy costumes.
Snyder says this is who she is, and she just loves to help people in need.
I have no intent of stopping, because if I stopped, I'd be dead. Because that's what keeps me going. Yes. I just keep looking for new places that I can volunteer. There's always somebody needs somebody to do something. And if I can help and do it, I will.
Carolyn Snyder is not letting anything slow her down. At almost 80 years old, she is one of the hundreds of volunteers putting in over 10,000 work hours a year to make this holiday festival a reality. A tradition that has spread to her very own family. She is here with her children, her grandchildren, and even a great-grandchild, decorating trees that will be auctioned off to raise money for the hospital. Family and giving back to the community are very close to her heart. I'm your host, Jesse Pierre, speaking to ordinary people doing extraordinary things.